In the year 2025, a joint announcement from Washington, D.C. and Edmonton shook the world. Under an executive order pushed through by former President Trump, now an advisor for economic freedom, a massive pipeline project was greenlit. Stretching from Fort McMurray's tar sands through British Columbia to Alaska, the pipeline was heralded as the ultimate energy corridor and the most controversial. Behind closed doors, Alberta's premier had struck a shady deal, offering full support in exchange for an expanded share of American energy profits. The stipulation, if British Columbia refused cooperation, Haida Gwaii and its historic totem poles would be sacrificed as collateral. Outrage swept the nation. But Canada wasn't about to hand over its forests, mountains, or sacred heritage without a fight. And as it turned out, Canada had secrets. Secrets hidden beneath the sprawling Empress Hotel in Victoria, BC. For decades, the government had been quietly running a top-secret UFO program. Now, as gleaming saucers zipped through the skies over the inner harbor, tourists unaware of the diplomatic showdown watched in awe, sipping Tim Hortons and snapping photos. The conflict came to a head when a convoy of American patriots, militares-obsessed pipeline enforcers armed with bald eagle insignias and stars and stripes jetpacks, crossed the border into BC, ready to enforce the deal. They underestimated what they were up against. The first warning shot came from the skies above Butchart Gardens, where one of Canada's UFOs burst into view in a blaze of red and white light. On its hull, the leaf of the Canadian flag, glowing for all to see. The pilots, mysteriously clad in plaid pilot suits, let loose a barrage of fluorescent laser blasts, scattering the American jets like startled geese. But that wasn't the only line of defense. The Patriots had just crossed into the Rockies when, emerging from a dense pine forest, came an enemy they could never have expected, an enormous, 20-story tall Godzilla moose. Its antlers, pulsating with bioluminescent energy, fired sizzling beams, half heat ray, half syrup stream, causing American tactical Humvees to stick firmly to the asphalt. The Godzilla moose bellowed a deafening call that echoed across the mountains like an earthquake. On the ground, Canada's culinary artillery went into action. Squad after squad adjusted their poutine trebuchets, catapulting steaming cheese curds and fries at the advancing forces. Meanwhile, maple syrup mortars coated their targets in a sugary glaze that rendered tanks immovable and highly attractive to Canadian black bears, which surged onto the battlefield to assist. The Americans counterattacked with drone strikes, but they underestimated another uniquely Canadian weapon: flocks of highly disciplined Canada Geese dive bombers. These avian warriors, equipped with explosive Molson beer cans strapped to their webbed feet, honked furiously as they kamikazed into supply trucks. Back in Victoria, the Empress Hotel stayed calm amid the chaos. Within its heritage-filled halls, complete with maple syrup fountains feeding local geese and displays of beavers chewing logs, Canadian officials activated Operation Disclosure. The UFO program wasn't just about national defense anymore. It was an intergalactic party. Saucers hovered over the Parliament building, spinning to the rhythm of bagpipes while shooting fireworks into the night sky. Aliens from around the galaxy arrived to join the festivities, curious about Earth's quirks and, frankly, Canadian politeness. When dawn finally broke over the chaos, it wasn't weapons that ended the conflict. It was compromise. Exhausted American commanders finally sat at a table made of Canadian cedar to hash out an agreement over plates of poutine and mugs of Labatt Blue. The deal? Haida Gwaii was declared untouchable. The pipeline was paused indefinitely, and Canada's UFO fleet, now a UNESCO World Heritage and interstellar tourism site.
This maple syrup alone makes this planet worth preserving.